Moving on to technical SEO. So again, mobile first, we've talked a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about structured data and what that is. And essentially, it's a way to mark up content on your site and give additional description to that content. So an image is a great example where, you know, an image doesn't have any content other than the visual component. And using structured data, we can actually apply some meaningful description and context around that image so that it can be indexed and searched. The crawlability of the site, you know, making sure that the search engines have free and clear access to your content is really important. And then we've talked a little bit about site speed. So structured data, a great example of the use of structured data is in reviews. A lot of us have searched for products or services online, and we see the star ratings next to the listing, and those stand out to us relative to listings that don't have star ratings. And reviews are one of those things that is a conversion booster. So the more reviews you have, the more positive they are, the better chance you have of converting a customer either into a lead or to a sale. So this just happens to be one example of some structured data. Here's kind of the schema that goes behind the scenes on the page to bring these reviews forward on a search results page. Product info, and there's lots of different types of products. In this case, I'm using a softball hitting net, but you can see when you mark stuff up, you can get what Google calls a knowledge graph, and basically that knowledge graph is a description or an extra description of what this particular product is. And then in this case, Bonet comes up. Down here, you see an Amazon listing, and there's a couple of elements in here that pop out. There's the star rating for this particular product, but there's also dimensions and things that come through in the listing that may not actually be in the description that they use for the product on the page. And that's where structured markup can be really helpful. So bringing this over to, oops, sorry. Another example here up at the top, again, these hitting screens in the shopping program within Google, you can now bring in sale pricing and show what the previous price was and a percentage change. That's actually pretty cool stuff. And you see down here some more descriptive elements, including pricing. That isn't necessarily, in the old days, we used to put that in the meta description manually and then hope that we remember to take it out when the sale was over. Now this stuff can be done dynamically. Over here for the home builder, there's actually a specific piece of structured data called the single family residence. And you can put things in like geo coordinates so people can find it, the address, the phone number of rooms, and square footage. And you can see here how New Home Source and Zillow are implementing that, and that shows up within their search listing. Gives you an edge on your competition.
Eric, a question on the structured data real quick before you move on, if we could. What about a company that is more of a business-to-business or a service provider? How would structured data impact it where they don't have a product the same way of these, for example?
There is a type of markup called the corporate markup, and that is essentially structured data about that particular company itself and the service that they offer. There are lots of other different types of structured data, but that's probably the most common one that we see. Or using some local markup. So the example would be like a law firm, you know, that has offices in multiple cities. They don't necessarily have a product per se, but they have different locations that people can reach, and you can use local markup to address those offices and identify hours of operation and contact information for people who are specifically working in that office. Great question.
Great, thanks.